What's going on, guys? Welcome to this episode of the On Deck channel, episode 10. Like I said in episode 9, that the format of the channel was going to change as I've been filling out what works on YouTube and what doesn't. And here it is. It's going to be us going through a multi-part project following along with this Leopard 50 build out. This Leopard 50 is only like 3 or 4 weeks old. It's freshly sailed over from Cape Town, South Africa, and it was spec'd out by the owner with as few options as possible on the boat, just enough to be able to sail it over here. And it's going to be the yacht rigger who's going to kit it out and make a really bespoke build out that is going to turn this boat into the ultimate cruising boat. So I can't wait to see everything that they're going to be putting on this boat and how they're going to approach things, why they're doing what they're doing. All that is going to come out in this multi-part series. So I hope you guys put your tray table up, sit back, buckle in, and enjoy the ride on seeing what happens with this sweet, sweet Leopard 50. So we're here on a Leopard 50, and this is close to my heart, Leopards, because that was like the very first boat when I got into sailing and I made my way over mentally from monohulls to catamarans. Leopard, for whatever reason, just quickly came up on my radar. I was like, man, that's the boat to get. Really was aiming for a Leopard 40 for quite a while there. Some stuff has changed, but still, I love Leopards. Just neat boats.
I'm a little biased myself in that I live on one, so
Yeah.
there's that. But yeah, I hear it. There's something about them, that,
Yeah.
especially this. I mean, this 50 feels like a flagship almost. It's just an incredible model. So
Yeah.
we're excited to be on it too.
Yeah, everything is so jumbo on it. It's crazy. I mean, everything is oversized.
Yeah.
It's huge. I mean, it's such a luxurious amount of space. I mean,
I have
man.
to admit, I first got on board and I looked around and I knew it was an owner's version, so I went down into the owner's suite back there and looked around, thought, cool, that's massive. Look at this massive shower up here and this big bed. And I went over on the port side and I looked and there was the conversion cabin up there. That's the utility room, and then the big cabin aft. And then I got off the boat and I was like, wait, I thought this was, I can't believe this boat only has 3 cabins. I thought it was, it only has 2 cabins. I thought it was a 3 cabin. And then Will said to me, he's like, did you see the forward section? And I was like, no, I went down the starboard hull, and it turned out I missed an entire staircase in the entire section of the boat.
Yeah, that third staircase.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
It's just that there's a suite up there.
Yeah, you
nuts.
never know. Man, it's really nuts. It is. And then, yeah, that utility room is really sweet. Instead of
Yes.
having like another forward berth,
Right.
having that utility space to work out of and
Right.
keep all your stuff together. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
So this guy has brought his, how old's the boat?
Brand new. This
Yeah,
is
it's
literally
like
off
weeks
the
old.
ship a couple weeks ago.
It's crazy. Wow.
Yeah. So 2023.
Yeah. Okay. So brand new boat. The owner brings it in here at the Yacht Rigger. What's the scope of the project?
It's a lot. We're going to be doing a battery system, of course, so lithium batteries with a massive solar array. We're doing 6 panels off the back. That's going to be somewhere in the region of 2.5 kilowatts, and then we're doing 4 panels on deck. That's going to add another 1.6 kilowatts. So we're going to be over 4 kilowatts of solar.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, and then a 48 volt battery bank, so a really big 600 amp hour 48 volt, so the equivalent of 2,400 amp hours at 12 volt for people who kind of understand that. But it's a big battery bank with very large inverters, so 15,000 watts and 10,000 watts. And we'll have to get Andre on to kind of hash out the details of the electrical system, but it's going to be a very powerful system. And so batteries, solar, with inverters, and obviously battery monitoring systems, a really cool air conditioning system. The VRV system is a chiller system that has separate units, and Andre can, again, kind of expound on that, but it's a very powerful, extremely efficient system. So very excited about that. That's
Is that mostly for
cool.
just bigger boats?
It can be used on smaller boats. You can kind of scale it. That's what's cool, because it's a single chiller that then runs the refrigerant to the air handler. So you don't have separate systems with separate compressors and separate water pumps. It's just one main unit that runs chilled coolant to these other units that then blow cold air out. So you can really control. It's a very smart system, really computerized, and you can scale things up and down. It's really awesome.
Ooh, I'll definitely follow that. How come you don't tend to see that very often? Is it brand new or really expensive?
It's pretty new and it's expensive.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Both sides. I mean, relatively speaking, it's actually not that much more percentage-wise than the factory air conditioning that Leopard offers. It's definitely more, but it's not double.
No, it's not crazy.
It's way more efficient, and nowhere close to double the price.
Okay.
So yeah, it's not crazy. We're also doing water maker, 40 gallon an hour water maker system.
Who's
and
that by?
that is a Seawater Pro that we're doing on this boat. Yep. And then we're also doing a lot of cabinetry. So we're going to be modifying some of the cabinetry systems down below and changing the way that some of the layout is. So installing induction cooktop electric oven, and getting that all trimmed in, of course, and then a separate refrigerator down in the utility room, and adding some drawers here and there and some additional storage. So there's so much space on this boat. It's wild, and it's not all.
Yeah, Danny was saying that. He's like, there's just so much space. I look around and there's just like, I put my head in something and there's a cavern.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah, you can hide people.
all these just cavities everywhere.
Yeah, I used a 4-foot ladder down there to climb up and stood head and shoulders inside something and could put my hand up to reach and touch the ceiling.
That's crazy.
Massive. Yeah.
Yeah. Just here inside the saloon, I was looking down, and you have the stairs that go down to the hull, and then the floorboards were off, so you could see into the bilge. And the hike from the stairs down into where the floors would be, and that removed into the bilge. I mean, if I jumped off that, I felt like I'd have this hang time. And I'd have time to like yell as I fall all the way down that far and break my legs.
Exactly. And the beauty of that is it's so cool because if you have to work on something in your builds, like on my boat, I have to reach down in there kind of shoulder deep to reach something. I can't climb into mine. Whereas you can physically just climb down into these bilges and sit there next to your bilge pump or next to whatever it is that you're working on, and or have storage totes down there. So it's amazing.
Nice. That
so
is.
much space. But yeah, so I mean, as we heard, Neil's 6'5", and he can get in all the compartments on this boat. I mean, I'm sure you can get down in those bilges, right, Neil? Have you tried? Yeah, you have to be able to. I mean, they're massive.
I did a passage from Cape Town to St. Lucia, and where we had our water maker was down in the bilge. And, down there.
Get down in there and service it. It's amazing.
That is sweet. And this wouldn't be an arch. This is going to be a solar frame,
it's
right?
A frame,
with the down legs onto the sugar scoops.
Yep.
Sweet.
Yep,
Are you
exactly.
going to do a shower in it? Yeah.
There we go. Yes.
Yep. The word from on high. Yep.
Shower's going to happen. So yeah.
Sweet.
And on the last one, I'm not sure if
option.
Brian's had a chance to discuss it with you yet, but the last one we did a rain shower that you could stand centrally on the scoop, and it kind of elbowed over and came down. We did it on a 45. It was really cool just because you're standing in the middle of the scoop and the water's not hitting you in the face. It's coming from straight down. One question with them was, and I need to actually ask him, is, when you're anchored somewhere and it's blowing 15, 20 knots and you're trying to stand in the rain shower, are you like
none of it's getting
trying to get under it? So I don't know.
You have to stand in your dinghy next to it.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So not sure on that.
That's funny.
Yeah. And are we doing freshwater flush conversions? We are, Neil. Is that on the list?
No, so we only have freshwater.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, there's no reason. Right. Yeah. It's funny. I didn't really ever use salt on mine either, even though
You'd have to.
the outlet.
So obviously we used it when you're doing big offshore passages.
Oh,
then
sure.
At that point, it makes a lot of sense. But even then, it's
But
still.
you have a water maker still. I mean.
Right, but even that, well.
Like a low wind day.
If the water maker works.
Yeah. Right, but even there, the salt water still stains the bowl.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
you've got to stay on top of cleaning your bowl versus fresh water.
The only time it's really cool is if there's bioluminescence around, because then you get a light show when you're flushing,
crazy.
Which is pretty special.
Wow, it would excite it all. That makes sense.
It makes these it looks like a fireworks show in the toilet bowl.
Whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
The induction, are the batteries, lithium batteries getting put in here?
Yes, so that's the 48-volt system is going to be
that's
lithium, Victron
cool. How many amp hours?
So 600 at 48 volts. Which is going to be 2400 at 12.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah. That's a lot to work with.
How
How long is the project estimate?
2 weeks.
2 weeks, right? 2 weeks. It's like the Money Pit, with Tom Hanks.
We're already into
2 weeks.
4 to 6 weeks is the realistic timeline.
I bet it ends up on the 6th.
And we're doing a little bit of the kind of final design as the boat got here. We have Andre kind of crawling around the boat going, well, actually, I think I can fit this inverter in here instead, and because Andre's basically trying to tweak this thing to be maximum efficiency, maximum power for what we're working with.
Yeah,
so
sweet.
it takes a little bit longer, but it means we can really cater it, make it very specific to the boat. So,
making a bespoke system to meet all the needs that the owner has for it, and its use case and all that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, well, I'm looking forward to following this and coming up with a bunch of questions each week on what's going on.
Absolutely,
and, how
it's a little bit chaotic down there right now. Do you want to do a quick walk around? We can kind of talk about what's going on down there.
We'll go check it out.
Here we go. Okay, so first of all, actually out back here, I'm going to step past you real quick. Back here is where the solar array is going to go. We're going to have 6 405-watt panels back here. And so that's going to span really nice and wide, create really nice shading back here. Well, Neil won't be able to stand there like that anymore, but he's kind of working on the stern light removal and some wiring runs for the solar. So 2.4 watt solar array back here. And then we're going to do some panels on the hardtop. So we'll go up front here And we just started doing some layout yesterday, trying to figure out where we're gonna put them, because we really want to make sure that there's good access to walk around the mast and move around up here. So what we're going to be doing is mounting a really cool rail system over here, and they have 2 panels on this side that they will span across that running rigging right there, but not an issue. It will be above it, so actually fairly simple. And then actually here's one of the panels we were using as part of the mock-up. And turns out, luckily, we have multiple sizes of panels on hand because these are slightly too big. So we're using a 405. This is a 400 watt, interestingly, bifacial panel that we were trying to fit up here, but we're going to go with a 405 watt panel from Rec Solar that's slightly smaller, and we can fit 2 also end on end here, so they can still walk around the mast and have full functional use of the hardtop. But it gets us to 10 solar panels. So it lets us simplifies our wiring and our
10
MPPT.
hard, like all
10
glass,
rigid
like
panels.
I
So
say
we're gonna be
rigid is the term.
right
yeah.
at 4 kilowatts on the solar system. So
Yeah.
it's going to be awesome. Yeah, plenty of solar. Let's go back to the cockpit. Keep going from there. Oh, I guess
What's up?
we are also going to be installing radar on the mast, a forward-facing camera, and switching out the masthead light from an anchor light to a tricolor. So that's going to be interesting. We have to make a custom bracket for the camera so we can mount it above the radar. And it's going to be roughly 3 feet above the radar because we have to account for interference.
Okay, yeah.
Well, you can click through onto the Facebook stuff channel, and then down.
We're discussing wiring runs here.
Nice.
Okay.
That's it. Make.
All right, we got some of the Victron batteries laid out here in the cockpit, getting ready to go into the custom battery rack that Brian's been working on. We can take a quick look at that too.
Yeah.
Fitting the batteries in is always a large part of the project consideration. Okay, so coming inside, we can first look at the battery bank mounting. Brian has built a custom battery rack that is going to hold all 6 batteries. It's really cool. They're all going to slot down in there, and it is a tight fit. We're trying to do it with minimal cabinetry modification. We had to do a little bit of fiberglass cutting to make that rack fit, but it's going to be awesome. It's going to be really clever. He's made a really nice built-in battery tie-down system, so you can see the straps that are in there to allow us to tie the batteries down nice and secure. Yeah, 600 amp hours at 48 volts, equivalent of, you multiply it by 4, because 48 to get down to 12, you have to divide by 4, so it's 2,400 amp hours. Yeah, double what I have on my boat. I'm very jealous. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So.
Jeez. Is there that many more systems on a boat this size that really requires doubling up, or is it just kind of a luxury
It's a bit
to
of
have?
everything. It's a luxury to have, but also it's a bigger boat, higher volume, so larger air conditioning space to cool, and more refrigeration. You know, I'm only running a fridge-freezer combo and a freezer on my boat, whereas they, I think, have multiple. I don't actually know that for sure, but I know there's more refrigeration going on. So yeah, in general, just larger power draw.
Yeah.
So you can see in here, we've kind of started taking things apart a little bit. We have the headliners down because we're figuring out the wiring runs from the hardtop mounted solar panels to where all the charge controllers are going to be. So we're doing 1 charge controller for every 2 panels on the boat. We need to series 2 panels together to get the voltage high enough to charge the 48 volt system, because the charge voltage on these panels is I think just around 42 volts. So we'll double it up to 80-ish, and then the charge controller will step it down to charge the batteries. But you have to be at a high enough voltage from your panels in order for the MPPT to be able to charge that 48 volt back.
Oh, that closes so nice.
Yeah, it's so nice. Yeah.
This is the nicest closing door I've ever felt on a
Cruising cat.
cat.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm just
So welcome to the galley. We've pulled out the propane cooktop and propane oven, and this is going to become an induction cooktop, and I believe we're doing an electric oven down below in here, and then it's all going to be trimmed in so that it looks 100% factory when we're done. So that's just another benefit of having that, you know, large lithium bank and all that solar. You can cook and bake all day long and not be concerned about sucking the batteries all the way down. Take a tour of the master's cabin. Don't fall down the stairs.
yeah.
Down in here, you can see this shelf, and is lower than the windows are. There's this space here, and so what we're going to be doing is adding a 3rd drawer to the top here. And the final details in this are actually going to still be figure it out early next week with the cabinetry team, just as to how they do that to make it look good. Mostly, this is an aesthetic thing. It's a nice improvement to add the storage, but it needs to not look like an afterthought. Is the main goal there. And then a couple extra outlets are being added down here. But other than that, man, this is such an awesome space. It's almost walk around bed fully, and then this huge. I mean, I'm not going to fall through the hole in the floor here, but this shower space is ridiculous. 2 people can shower in here.
Wow.
It's amazing. So no muds necessary, but the space is just crazy.
So
I
wait,
love it.
It's just walk-in. There's no glass. Like
There's no, yeah, it's just open, I believe. I don't think there's even a curtain. Yeah, because this is all
it's
wet
just
space.
it's a walk-in.
There's a
Yeah,
shelf. Yeah,
straight
so
up.
You have
I've never seen that in a boat.
all kinds of room.
That's
yeah.
crazy. Wow. And that's
Yeah.
the countertop space there. Wow. And
There's
it's got
no
a
divider.
glass sliding door there. I mean, at the front.
Oh yeah,
it's got
right
that.
here. Yeah,
That's
it's-
cool. I've never
it's
seen
like
that in the.
a pocket. Yeah.
Yeah, little
I
pocket
think
door.
it's locked right now. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Oh, he's getting the big tools.
Yeah, we're going caveman.
Yeah. But we can take a quick look
Yeah,
down here.
just to see it.
Give a mini boat tour.
Yeah.
Of course, we have all the flooring protection down, so it doesn't look awesome
Yeah.
right now. But this is another amazing. I mean, this guest cabin is just huge. So we have a full,
yeah.
almost queen size bed, and then look at the size of this bathroom and shower too. Another just
That's
amazingly
crazy.
spacious. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Another
Absolutely
full
crazy.
size. So even the forward bed is full size.
Yeah. This is the
That's
the
wild.
smallest cabin on the boat.
That's wild.
It's still huge.
So they're not having to do the hatches under the stairs anymore, huh?
Yeah,
'Cause I know
I'm
the
sure,
Leopard.
yes.
I know the 42 was one of the first boats in the
not.
EU to have the to be able to pass their code to
Yeah.
not have those
Some
access
CE
hatches.
certification
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, CE something.
Yeah, yeah.
So they got around that,
Yeah.
and which pretty cool.
Yeah. So down here on the port side is where there's a lot's going to go on electrically, and we'll have to get Andre on board to speak about the exact details. I know roughly as you come down the stairs here, some cabinetry that we have, well, lots of cabinetry that we've taken apart. But for instance, in this cubby, I think we're going to be doing all the charge controllers for the solar, and possibly some other smaller stuff. And then this one's open, I think, just for access. But back here, this is the guest cabin. I mean, again, just a huge space.
Yeah.
It's funny. I needed a ladder to reach up in the headliner high enough yesterday to
Oh.
run the wire for the solar panels.
Whoa,
Yeah.
look at that.
It is just, colossal up there. And then we have all this space. I mean, this is effectively. Are you getting that? Nice.
I mean, it's so much higher than the camera's even capable of pointing on the gimbal. That's
Right.
crazy.
Right. And so this is effectively, I don't want to say wasted space because it's very utilitarian for what we want to do, but this is where the inverters and chargers are going to go. So the 15,000
Wow,
watts.
look at that room. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
15,000 watts of 240 volt or 220 volt power, and 10,000 watts of 120 volt power pulling from that
Wow.
battery bank to feed the boat. So it's just going to be
That's
massive
incredible.
amounts of power. Yeah. So yeah, that's where the electrical's going to go. And
Oh, look, you can see Brian's frame a little bit more in here. See?
Oh, cool.
Yeah, a
That's
little
funny
bit.
perspective-wise. I feel like the battery bank was further over, but
Right? It's weird how it all
yeah,
connects. Golly.
there's just so much room on
Yeah,
this boat.
just tons of space. And then this is the, I mean,
The
and
other
still,
guest head.
Yeah, there's no wet heads on a 50.
Nope. Nope. Yeah, look at that space. I mean, that's,
Yeah.
it's like for perspective. I mean,
Yeah.
I can wash my
That's
hair here and not over the
crazy.
wall. Yeah.
And you still have totally separate, and the toilet's all the way over there.
Yep. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
All that space. I mean, look, and more space.
Yeah. Yeah. You go
can't even-
forward.
Yeah,
this is the utility
so
room
neat.
with
So
the
another-
other head.
Yeah, another head here. Fully separate
Yep.
head from the shower.
Yeah, no washing machine or anything in there. Those are up forward.
Sweet. Okay.
So this is the utility room. We have the washer dryer right here. We're going to modify this cabinet down low here for a built-in refrigerator. I think it's going to be a dual-purpose fridge freezer. And then at this point, there's just a lot of opened up space that we're still figuring out, ducting for the air conditioning, the final modifications, because we're making a system with plenums that can direct airflow around the boat. So you can decide, hey, right now I don't want to cool this cabin. I want to just keep all the air up top, for instance. And so it gives you a lot of flexibility. So little chaotic in here right now just because we were pulling down everything for access, but it means we can get things done. The water maker's going in here too.
Oh, sweet. Yeah.
And I'm 90% sure the water maker is going down in the bilge below this big floorboard here. And again, the bilge is on this boat. I mean, you can just climb down in there and like hang out. Like you can have your tool bag and be working on stuff. There's no crawling around reaching down at the floorboards.
Unreal. And and this is so great having utility room, but he didn't have to give up a bedroom for it in a sense because he has 3 full-size beds
He still has it's a 3-cabin boat. So it's like an owner's version, but then you get the utility room, don't sacrifice a cabin.
I mean, how do you beat it?
Yeah, close this.
Yeah. Here's the other, like, just endless boat
space
cavities.
just everywhere. I mean, 2 people could climb in this one. I mean, it wouldn't be.
Yeah, look at that. It's crazy.
No space. It's just wild. There's one of the main cross beams.
Wow.
All those bolts you see back there. Yeah, it's one of the structural cross beams on the boat. Something unique to Leopard. That's stainless cross beam all the way over.
Oh, that whole thing's stainless.
Nice. Yeah. One final. Well, there's a couple small things. Of course, we're doing some instrument upgrades. We're going to move I think it's a 12 or 14 inch plotter from up at the helm down to this nav desk over here, along with a tri-data. So that's the wind speed, depth, and boat speed information that's going to be displayed down here very clearly. And obviously have the bigger touchscreen up there, and then also a Vesper Cortex VHF that's going to be installed here with a controller up at the helm. So that's the VHF and AIS combo. And then underwater lights is happening, I think, next week, and some new gory folding propellers.
Nice. Are you gonna float? Are you gonna bag it?
Yes.
To get
so
the
we're
props
going to be using the float bag
Sweet.
to do the props and underwater lights at the same time.
Haha, sick. All right. Wow, that's funny. You call those little things. That's like an $8,000 factory option from Leopard, for the underwater, and that was on a 40.
Right.
Who knows what it is on this? I just think they're not interested in doing it. So.
Right.
Oh, he's got the dishwasher, huh?
Yes. Yep.
That's sweet.
Yeah. Another one of those things that just, you got a nice powerful water maker. You got 600 amps of battery power. You can be making 100%. Water, running the dishwasher, and running the air conditioning at the same time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like you're running a generator, but you have a 4 kilowatt solar generator just throwing power into those batteries at crazy rates. That combined with the high output alternators, it's wild.
Oh, yeah.
We haven't even talked
is he going to have a generator at all?
Nope, no generator on this boat. Two high output alternators, and I believe they're going to be 160 amp at 48 volts. So you got to remember, that's the equivalent of 1632, 640 amps at 12 volts. Now, there's going to be some efficiency loss from heat.
But even if you're pushing like
500. Yeah, if you're pushing 500 amps from each engine, that's 1,000 amps. So,
so you can bring it up in a little over 2 hours.
Fully charge in 1 hour.
I thought it was 2,400.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're correct. Yes.
Yeah. So just a little over 2 hours. Yeah. But that's if you were all the way
zero
down.
And there's no sun.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Then wow, dude.
Yep.
Man, that's pretty awesome.
Ridiculous. Yeah.
Holy crap.
So while you're motoring, if you're motoring from one place to another on a light wind day and it's hot and unpleasant, you have both your engines running, just acting like a generator. You're running them anyway. And so you can run full AC in the boat and get to your anchorage in the evening and be completely charged up. And just keep the AC running. Maybe wake up in the morning and fire up the engine for half an hour.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Simulators?
Yes, he is.
Nice.
Yep. Yeah, he's actually the very first boat ever to get this.
Awesome.
Boat number 1.
Heck yeah, baby.
Yeah. I mean, besides the beta tested ones.
Right, yeah. That's sweet. Thank you guys for taking the time to watch this episode of the On Deck channel. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you want to follow along in the build out of this boat in this multi-part series. Check the link in the description below for all kinds of cool links that are out there that are stuff that the yacht rigger likes to use around the yard to keep these boats afloat and keep our dreams fueled up for our adventures out on the water. I will see you guys next time on the On Deck channel.